A very good morning and warm welcome, 10th standard. Hope you all had a safe and happy Diwali. So, we were in the lesson number 3, Life Processes in Living Organisms, part 2, and we are about to complete this lesson in this lecture. And next time, we shall start with the textual exercise. So, let's proceed. Today, first topic we have is reproduction and modern technology. Do you think, students, is there any link or connection between these two terms? Yes, it is. Reproductive health, I would like to tell you all, is very important. It is the condition of female and male reproductive systems during all life stages. Okay. Now, in recent years, it has been studied that lot of couples, married couples, young couples are unable to uh, have children, okay, due to various reasons. And the very first is our lifestyle, the way of living. We have always been hearing that the female is unable to bear a child, the female is unable to conceive, but we fail to understand that even the males are at times equally responsible, or the males are only responsible because we haven't opened up ourselves due to the society. Then we don't ever discuss it openly. That will be dealing in the later part of the lesson, what are the problems faced. Before that, let us look at the various reasons, okay, that affect the reproductive health of an individual. So the first, females. Now, irregularity in menstrual cycle, oocyte production is affected, obstacle in oviduct, implantation issues, and etc. Now, irregularity in menstrual cycle. We have studied menstrual cycle in the last lecture, and I told you how important it is for this hormonal cycle to be balanced. Yes, if there is increase or decrease or any disturbance in the hormonal cycle, it totally affects the health of that particular female. And not just for that particular time, it does affect the future of that particular female as well. Then oocyte production, we studied what are oocytes. Yes, I need not repeat them. So at times the oocytes are not fertilized in time due to delay in release of hormones or excess release of hormones. Yes, then obstacle in oviduct. Now, oviduct is the place where the fertilization takes place, as we have seen. So, if there is any obstruction in the oviduct, then fertilization may be affected. What can happen is oocyte is released, fertilized ovum is, matured ova is released, but due to issues in the oviduct, the fertilization is not taking place. Okay, so there are many reasons. Then implantation issue, we studied that the zygote, that is when formed into embryo, it is pushed towards the uterine wall and it is implanted there for the further growth and development. Now again, due to various reasons, as for example, nowadays even females are working in factories, industries, which have chemicals to deal with. So the continuous exposure to chemicals can affect the reproductive system. Then IT industry, for example, the continuous exposure to computer for 7 to 10 hours, and then harmful rays are penetrated inside the skin, so even that affects. These all effects are very gradual, and we come to know you in most of the cases when the time is gone. So that is why it is very essential to take proper care. There are many other issues also, like early or delayed puberty. Now, your body is, remember, a biological clock. It has set itself what time, at what age, after what particular time, what is going to happen, what are the changes going to take place naturally. But again, due to the lifestyle, due to our food, eating habits, the way we sleep, or lack of sleep, these factors also affect the puberty. Then infertility or reduced fertility, then polycystic ovary syndrome. Students, this is a emerging uh, syndrome among females. Polycystic ovary syndrome, it is also known as PCOS. What happens is ovaries begin to produce male hormones than the normal. One thing I'll tell you, the female body does secrete male hormones but in a lesser quantity, and the male body does secrete female hormones but in a lesser quantity. Okay, so that is why it is balanced. But at times, due to some reasons, some imbalance, the male hormones in female and the female hormones in male are overproduced, which then again affects them in overall ways. Let's move towards the problems faced by men, which are not at all discussed, and so the society is unaware of it. Now, in men, it has been observed that absence of sperms in the semen, again due to hormonal imbalance or the various reasons I gave you. And one more thing, students, in females as well as male, nowadays lot of disease have been persistent, like diabetes, hypertension, then cancer, even these disease, students, affect largely on your overall health. Remember that. So absence or low count of sperms. Now, there is a particular amount fixed for to be present in the semen, but maybe due to some reason, some other factor, imbalance, the sperm count would be low in the semen, and the sperms would not be able to penetrate the ova or reach up to the oviduct. That could be a reason for low fertility or fertilization unable to take place. Then you have anomalies in the sperms. In this, what happens is a normal sperm usually has an oval head with a long tail. Okay, but in anomalies, what is this condition is sperms are abnormal. Either they might have some defects in the head or tail region, or head or tail might have been cut off, so it becomes a defective sperm. So that could also be a reason for infertility. So such different issues have been reported. Then erectile dysfunction, impotency, again here also almost there are same reasons. Chemical industry, if the person is working in chemical industries, then continuous exposure to chemical harmful radiations. Then students, pollution is also one of the major reasons. Next, you can I add on to is IT industries are also equally responsible. Then lack of vitamins, proper nutrients are also one of the factors that have been observed. So overall, along with your health, this reproductive health is also very, very important. We shall study in detail. And about technology, with science and technology, thankfully there have been advanced medical technique nowadays that we'll be studying. What are the various techniques that have helped the childless couples to have a child? We also have movies on these technology for better understanding to the common man. The first one is in vitro fertilization. It is also called as IVF. Next we have surrogacy, and third is sperm bank or semen bank. We shall step by step look into what every technology has to say about. Okay, so the first technique we have is in vitro fertilization or IVF. In vitro means inside. Now, in this technique, fertilization, that is usually by natural process. If you go to see, it happens in the oviduct of the female. But as I said, due to some reason, obstacles in the oviduct, or if there are issues with the men, so sperm count might be low. So in such cases, the couple opts for IVF. Now in this technique, the egg is being extracted from the female and sperms are being bought by the male. And the fertilization is being done in the test tube. Now this IVF laboratories are not like our usual ones. They are specifically made up for these uh, techniques. Okay, so the proper conditions, the temperature is being maintained, the pH, the enzymes, whatever is required. Okay, it is almost as per the conditions in the in the female reproductive system. So obviously the fertilization will take place. So here in the test tube, the sperm and the ova are allowed to fuse, like you can see in the picture. Okay, and then after the fusion, as we studied, by the process the zygote is formed. Then after multiple mitotic divisions, the embryo is formed. Now this embryo, once formed completely, is then implanted in the uterus of the woman at appropriate time as per the procedure. And this IVF technique, students, has helped a lot of childless couples have their own child. So these techniques, modern technology with the help of science, has helped a lot, and it is going to help many. Do understand these. These are very simple, common. You should be aware of it. Next we have surrogacy. In surrogacy, almost the case is same, the procedure is same, but the difference is we need a third person. Now what it is, here usually this technique is opted when the female has issues with the implantation. What happens, students, in many cases the uterus of the female is weak. It would be difficult for the uterus to bear the weight of the child once the child starts growing. Then at times the female might have had abortions or miscarriages. Maybe due to that the uterus becomes weak. So implantation is not possible. In this case, same as IVF, the egg is extracted from the female. The sperms are being bought by the male. The fertilization takes place in the test tube. The formed embryo is then implanted in the uterus of the female who has a normal uterus. That another female could be any from the family, could be from outside. That is the couple's decision. This all is done on legal basis. That is not our part to study, but just for your knowledge. And there are then terms, conditions that are being decided. So let's keep that part apart. But here the difference is there is another female involved, that is the third person involved, whose uterus should be normal. Obviously, even her checkup, reproductive health is being checked up, and then only she is being permitted to take part in the procedure. Then for the 9 months, she will bear the baby in her uterus. She'll provide nourishment, and once the baby is delivered, it will be handed back over to the couple. So the couple can have their own child. Done. And one more thing, the female in whose uterus the embryo is implanted and she bears the baby for the 9 months is called as surrogate mother. Do remember this. She is known as surrogate mother, and hence the procedure is known as surrogacy. And the third one we have is sperm bank. Yes, just like you have piggy bank, money bank, same way here you have sperm bank. Here instead of money, the semen is being stored. Now in this, what happens? A very common example. I'll just give you the name of the movie and you all will understand it. Vicky Donor. Everyone has seen the movie. Here what happens is, we have studied that men alone can also have issues with the reproductive health. So this, at such times, men can opt for sperm bank. The female's reproductive health would be fine, but the male would not be able to reproduce. So what happens is, semen is being ejaculated by the desired men, okay, collected after their thorough physical and medical checkup, and then it is stored in the sperm bank. Just like in the surrogate mother I told you, the uterus and the reproductive health, overall health is being checked up, and then only that another female is being given permission. In same way, when it comes to sperm bank, healthy men whose sperm production would be pretty fine or at times more than required. So such males have been physically and medically checked up, and then their semen is collected and it is stored in the sperm bank. Now, like I said, due to some problems, the needful couples, okay, they might meet them, and them means the sperm bank institution. And then what happens in this case, the female, okay, the wife of that particular husband is being asked to give her oocytes for the fertilization process by the IVF technique. Again, here the IVF technique works. The oocyte and the sperms of the sperm donor, okay, are being fertilized in the test tube and then allowed to grow until the embryo is formed, and the formed embryo is then implanted in the uterus of the female or the wife, okay, of the original couple, and then the growth and development takes place. But here in this case, the name of the semen donor, it is strictly kept secret as per the law. Again, this thing also you might have seen in the movie. So I hope these three modern technologies are very much clear to you all. The next topic we are going to study is very common and quite interesting as well. Twins. Now, you might have experienced that some siblings, just by looking at them, you identify them as twins. But some siblings, in some cases, you later on come to know that, okay, they are twins, and at times their gender is also different. So, what is this difference? Okay, that we shall see. Twins is when two embryos develop simultaneously in same uterus and two offsprings are delivered simultaneously. In most of the cases, what happens is, one embryo is implanted and that one embryo grows and develops as one baby, and then one baby is delivered at a time. Clear? Now, in the case of twins, irrespective of what twins they are, two embryos are developing simultaneously, okay, in the same uterus of the particular female. And obviously, if there are two embryo students, two offsprings will be delivered because two babies are being growing and developing. Clear? In some cases, there are triplets and quadruplets also. You might be knowing very famous, well-known Indian choreographer Farah Khan. She has delivered triplets and by natural process. So in rare case, this also happens. Here, we will see what different kinds of twins are there in the nature. First is monozygotic twin and second is dizygotic twin. Just by looking at the word, break the word, you will understand. Mono means one, zygotic yani zygote. Then you have dizygotic. Di means in biology two, and zygotic, zygote. So monozygotic, you have only one zygote, and dizygotic, you have two zygotes. In monozygotic case, one zygote is there. That means, just understand the difference, students. In monozygotic, one zygote, that is one egg, has been fertilized by one sperm. So this one zygote, after divisions, in some cases divides into two embryos. Just try to understand, one egg and one sperm. So the DNA material, the genetic material is same, and that one particular zygote splits into two embryos. So the same genetic material is being divided into both the embryo. That is why you find the gender is same, they are genetically same, they are phenotypically also same. Phenotypically means external appearance. Did you all get it? One zygote splits into two embryos. So the same genetic material is distributed in both the embryos, and hence the gender is same. That is why you get these features. But in dizygotic, two eggs are released and two sperms fertilize two eggs. So two different zygotes are there since beginning, and these zygotes by process will further develop into two embryos. So here two different zygotes, that means two different egg and two different sperm. So the genetic material since the beginning is different. So maybe the male sperm would have been carrying X in one, and the another sperm would be carrying Y. So we have studied the sex determination. One could be male and another could be female. That is why in many cases you find that the twins do not look alike. Clear? Because there were two eggs fertilized by two sperm, two zygotes were formed, and thus two embryos were formed. Further, two babies were delivered with different genetic material. In the first case, one zygote is splits into two embryos. So the same genetic material is being distributed. In dizygotic, you may have same gender, you may not have same gender. They are genetically also different. One might carry a hereditary disease, one might not. Complexion would be different. The cases are different. One special case of monozygotic twins is conjoint or Siamese twins. What happens, students? In rare case, the embryonic cells divide into two groups after 8 days of the zygote formation. High possibility is formation of conjoint twins, which means some parts of body are joined to each other. You might have read about cases where the twins are being given birth, but some part of the body is joined. Some organs are joined. So they are known as conjoint or Siamese twins. Now, in many cases, operations are successful. In many, one sibling succumbs to the operation, one doesn't. In many cases, both the babies are healthily surviving after the operation as well. So it depends case to case. Now we shall watch a small video for better understanding of twins. Okay, here you can see the twins are being shown. Similar twins, that is monozygotic twins. What happens? They are being formed from single embryo, and within 8 days of zygote formation, the embryonic development begins. See, one egg is released, one sperm is fertilized the egg, and one single zygote is formed into embryo. This embryo splits into one zygote splits into two embryos, and due to same genetic material, the twins are similar to each other, appearance same, gender same, you can see. Clear? So the genetic material is same. Just remember this. Their habits may be same. Now here, conjoined twins. You can see they are joined by the shoulder because the formation of embryo is delayed. Here you can see two eggs are released. So two sperms fertilize two eggs, which results in two zygotes for the formation of two embryo implantation. Two babies being given birth, which are totally different from each other. So this is how the twins are born. Last subtopic of the lesson, reproductive health. We have already begun with this. A person's state of being physical, mental and social strongness is called as health. General health. I told you about what is reproductive health. Now, what happens is there is lack of awareness regarding reproductive health in our country due to various reasons. The social customs, awareness amongst the children, the age difference between the parents and the children, or rather the generation gap. When the children ask out to their parents, they are being ignored. They are left unattended. Then illiteracy. People are literate but illiterate about the reproductive health, unaware of the consequences. Then shyness. Like I said, taboo. People don't want to discuss it about openly. Superstitions, misconceptions, false beliefs. If you do so, then this might happen. During the menstruation days, the female should be kept away from the house. She should be kept away from the kitchen. The basic purpose, children, I'll tell you, is nothing but the females need rest for that 4 particular days, and that is why she needs to rest. But then our culture, traditions, customs have totally changed the meaning, and they have been doing this injustice and discrimination with the females during menstruation since generations, and still it is continued. And that is why it is very, very important for the coming generations, for the youth like you, to know how important it is to maintain a good reproductive health as well. Then gender discrimination, we all are aware of. Now, there are different issues regarding reproductive health. First is syphilis. Let us discuss this. Patches on genitals. Genital area, you might have patches. Then you might have rashes. Fever is one of the symptoms that something is wrong in your body. Inflammation of joints. Alopecia is very common nowadays. Men have small patches on their beard, on the head. So that particular patch will have loss of hair. So timely treatment, if taken, it will surely cure. If ignored, if left unattended, it can lead to various other disease and infections. Then gonorrhea, painful burning sensation while urinating. This should not be ignored, which means something is wrong either with your reproductive health, either with the reproductive system or food eating habits. Anything can be affected. Students, if you see anything unusual happening with your body, within your body, you need to make sure that diagnosis is done in time. Oozing of pus through genitals, which is again unusual. Inflammation of urinary tract. Okay, while passing the urine inside, internally you might have burning sensation. Then the anus, then throat, eyes, etc. These are all the symptoms of this disease, gonorrhea. So proper care need to be taken, students. Then even in females during the menstruation, like I said, you proper hygiene needs to be maintained. Even other than that, throughout, always you should maintain cleanliness, hygiene in on private organs. Yes, if not, if ignored, once again I'll tell you, it can lead to some intense disease which at times cannot be cured. So while educating ourselves about the general topic, let us make ourselves aware and have information knowledgeable about the reproductive health, and be alert and aware citizen, taking care of the males and females around us equally and not discriminating amongst any. With this we complete our lesson. If any doubts, you can discuss it in the live sessions. Till then, complete your books. Don't waste your time. Make the best use of the time.